we'll just hop into the regular load screen. Silly low Masters Taeja. Who does this guy think he is?
Of course, of course.
Coming up against the Grand Master Revival. Talk about some balls on this guy. I've got some funny jokes. All right, 2-2. And we're ready to rock and roll. This is the last game in this first show match of the day, guys. But this is going to be 4 matches played out in total. Again, it'll be the winner of this, playing the winner of Dragon versus Puzzle, which is coming up immediately after this. Another best of 5. Then a best of 7 grand finale with a best of 3 losers match to follow it up, to clean it all up nicely. So that may not be the exact order they're played in. I'll find out afterwards, but that's what I imagine is going to be done. At any rate, welcome back to the No Dice Gaming $1,000 show match series. This is a team that's kind of I don't know, new, but got some money to throw around. They're not just a StarCraft 2 team. They're a multi-gaming team, and it's really nice to see them investing some time to put some really good quality StarCraft 2 on for all of you at home. So thank you for tuning in and watching. Without further ado, they're spawning in the top right corner of Yansu, the blue Terran player, Liquid Taeja.
And in the bottom left, as the red Zerg, it is CM Revival.
Isn't it, I guess it's Cooler Master, but isn't there like StarCraft division like CM Storm though? So wouldn't it be like CMS?
Well, I'm pretty sure CM Storm is like a production line of Cooler Master products.
Okay, I've never really known. I thought it was 2 different enterprises or whatever. Like, I mean, I know it's all like Cooler Master in general. Like, it's all relative in that regard.
No, it's like I just Googled it. It's like a production line.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cooler Master. Speaking of masters, Liquid Taeja. Oh, check that segue. You know, he's probably my favorite to win this. I'll be honestly a little bit shocked if he goes down to Revival here. Again, nothing against Revival, just with Taeja's prowess, it's hard to not look at him and revere him as probably the winner in this series. But taking it now 2-2, Revival's showing us he's got some moxie, if nothing else, and if he can bump Taeja down to the losers bracket, guys, for a moment. Well, not losers bracket, but the losers match, I should say. First off, that's Taeja, the guy who like is again heralded as probably one of the better players of 2013, with only the possibility to make up to $200 today. Because losers match, third place, $200, whereas winners match, you got 500 for first and 300 for second. I mean, it's a really big deal just to win this game, because it guarantees you a lot of money one way or another.
Yeah. It'd be really surprising if Revival... I honestly expected maybe a 3-1, you know, assuming that Revival got I guess a good Roach Baneling all in. But to actually go to the ace match and potentially win out, it was, would be surprising, actually. Not that I don't like Revival, it's just Taeja. Even though it's not summer anymore, whatever you want to say.
Let's be honest, guys. We're Terran players. This is Taeja. You know who we got our bias towards.
Of course,
but
that's why we're so biased. We're just race picking.
It happens all the time. No, actually, that's something that's kind of fun though. It's like everyone has their favorite race, of course. And ooh, actually gets 2 kills here real quick with this Reaper. Let's talk about that for a moment. Not only loses a drone, but the link to go hand in hand with this. And unfortunately, with that second Reaper coming towards the Nashville, I don't know. Yeah, he's got to keep these other 2 at home. He can't actually send these across the map. And Taeja's invested in that 3rd Reaper once again. Another drone goes down. What's happening to Revival this game?
Oh, that Reaper took a wrong turn, I guess, but gets out fine anyways.
Every game, Taeja has not really been able to get much done with those Reapers early on. But for the first time in this best of 5, he actually gets a couple drone kills and a couple lings to go with it.
It seemed like the queens were just a tad bit late, like seconds, literally, but you know, that single Reaper usually comes and like the queen pops out 5 seconds later, right? So it was surprising that I got that damage done. But with 3 Reapers now, Rival's like, well, you shouldn't transfer those drones.
No, rest in peace, guys. Even the queens can't really deal with this too well. Unfortunately, 3 Reapers are kind of that magic number you need to start killing queens. Queen in the main really needs to be pulled into this if he wants to get involved with a fight. Like, either stay away from the Reapers entirely or pull everything to deal with them. Because right now, dancing like this is just costing him.
Yeah.
But Metabolic Boost is finally finishing up. So I guess that was kind of his logic. You know, if I could just live a little bit longer without having to throw away queens, Metabolic Boost will clean up these Reapers no problem. And it's about to kick in just a second.
You know, honestly, that many lings, as long as he's near a cliff, Taeja could probably take him on.
Yeah,
just jumping up and down with 3 Reapers. But he disconnected. He didn't group the Reapers up, so actually, never mind. He's going to wait for those Hellions, and he's also going to go up to Banshee again, looking to be very aggressive.
I actually really like the fact that he brought 2 of them back home, though, because this guarantees that second push, right? Like 6 Hellions, 2 Reapers. If you were to accidentally lose any of them across the map, it takes so much power away from that push.
That's a good point. It's a really good point. And now he has all 3 because he saved all of them, although he's not taking that 3rd one.
Plus, of the addition of a Banshee, which again, all this is kind of like through causality a little bit later because of going for that 3rd Reaper, but not by much. And I think the DPS will make up for it for sure, especially if he lays it on towards the some pressure towards that 3rd. With these rocks up, it's going to be very difficult for Revival to respond, even with good creep spread.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see. You did a lot of good damage last game, I would say, from when I got back and saw what was happening. But it seems like behind it, Taeja wasn't. He was a little too focused on doing damage with what he had instead of following it up and getting those medevacs out and the big army too. Hopefully he doesn't make that same mistake or, actually does more damage. Because what did he actually do with that damage? Did you like count the drones or whatever?
For what, this game? It's like 5 drones.
Last game.
Oh, last game. No, last game he really didn't get much done even with 3 Reapers.
Okay, yeah. So even though it looked really powerful, no, I mean like the Reaper Hellion Banshee combo.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. What? Are we talking Polar Knights or what do you mean?
Yeah, last game he went for the Hellion Reaper Banshee combo, right?
Right, and around the 3rd it got shut down.
Yeah,
like the huge flood of links. But that's because Revival had gone for like the Roach Baneling like attack that failed absolutely. Like Taeja was able to kill all the Lings and Roaches with their Banshees like before, so Revival had to fall back. But because of that, he had like 50 Lings at home. So it's kind of like the attack from Taeja didn't work out because the attack from Revival didn't work out type thing.
Interesting. Let's put a spin on it. So never mind. But Taeja surprisingly not. There's a lot of queens, and I guess you really can't take on queens.
I don't like going off creep, but with an Overlord here, actually, that changes it a bit.
A bit. I'm surprised that Taeja doesn't just go somewhere else though. Like that's a lot of queens, meaning that there's going to be only at bare minimum 1. So take up some of the other creep.
Is
this the left side?
Does this wall off that ramp, that evolution chamber? It kind of looks like something could slip by there.
Well, it doesn't wall off the ramp, no. Oh, no, you mean like on the left side? No, it's a wall off.
It just looks a bit odd. Kind of like that Polar Knight problem. But, a couple Banshees are going to be a little too much for these queens to deal with initially. We got some Hellions trying to kite these Lings, but, of course, you never want to quite kite like this. Revival going to disengage, though. Again, you never really, really want to fight off creep, but, of course, forced to when you have to. But behind all this, while it's been a lot of dancing and scrapping in the middle of the map, he maintains his 3rd. No pressure's been applied to the mineral line. He's been mining like a madman, and he's got 70 freaking workers.
Yeah, looking pretty good. Pretty normal game, actually. Finally, no all-ins, no any type of attacks whatsoever. Just straight up, I'll do some damage, you do some damage, whatever.
This time too, if we could just bring this up, Revival's actually part of the course with upgrades. He's not ahead of Taeja, but he's not behind him for once either.
Oh,
That's something that has not been exactly a common theme in this series, but lots of banelings on the way. Some beautiful creep spread around the defensive part of the map, but of course, almost gets us around on most of those Hellions. Does get 1 and a Reaper.
Yeah, that was
Did he miss
so Taeja?
Oh no, he didn't.
No, he didn't. So he was actually surprising that he even got that 1 queen that he did. It's because Revival messed up on a transfuse. Transfuse is full health queen. But other than that, they haven't really done a whole lot. They will definitely add to this push, though. This push only meant to clean up creep. And then if they don't have Needless, you can pick up and try and harass. Needless will be out, so you just have to be careful about that.
Yeah, that's it's so annoying as a Terran player. Of course, you would love to just drop all day, but if you lose a medevac full of Marines, you want to flip tables is what happens when that goes down. But clearing out the rocks here towards the 3rd. Taeja's pretty safe at home. As far as defensive capabilities too, I like that he's actually getting some barracks here. This adds a little bit to the Sim City, but it also means he's gonna have a lot of extra production. So whether it's coming from the main or coming from the natural, we just see tons of. It's kind of like you want to be able to make like 13 Marines at any given time if you can.
Something like that. It's 7, 10 times. Yeah. Well, actually, more than that. But anyways.
Well, I guess technically you'd want to make as many as possible. Like, if you had the economy to make 50 barracks, I mean, why not, right?
Right. I'm like kind of trying to count how many barracks you need for 2 base, and then 2 base saturated, and then 3 base, and 3 base saturated, but whatever. It's just building a lot of Marines, any given time. Well, as long as 3 Widow Mines at a time, and maybe even throwing some Hellbats later on.
Revival has, again, whether it's intentional or accidentally, not gone for those melee upgrades level 2. A little bit curious on this choice, because that might not have actually been an accident in game 1 if this was like on purpose, like maybe he wants to transition out of. But like, why Why would you pick a different tech path at this point? Banelings and Zerglings will carry you through to victory if handled correctly.
Well, I guess the +2 attack for the Banelings doesn't help them, right? Like, it doesn't mean
I
they
guess.
kill
Yeah,
Baneling,
you'd only really need level 2 on Zerglings if you're gonna go for like Hive and Adrenal Glands or something. But this big force units is a little bit scary. Again, great control here with the Zerglings to bait out those Widowmine hits.
I still am a little worried about +2 weapons. I mean, it's the reason everyone else gets it, right? So I think Revival might, regret skimping on it, but...
No, big attack gonna come down. Banelings, of course, a little bit unfortunately choked behind a lot of the Zerglings. Pulls them back because the Widowmines were quite scary, but even so, Taeja with that micro just pulls all of his Marines back and takes very minimal losses. We see a bunch of black splotches instead of blood because this is the Korean server, but each of those is a dead Zergling.
Until the very last second, I thought Taeja was in a desperate situation, and then suddenly all the Marines on the left side survived. So now he has a really good position to be able to push forward. Now Revival's going to have Banelings just in time, as 12 do finish up.
I kind of feel like the second that Revival had to panic, like it's like we saw him go like, oh shoot, there's Widowmines. Like there's that very distinctive pullback of those Banelings, right? Like at that point, it's like Taeja should be okay. And a nice spread once again. What a monstrous beast as he pushes this back. More Banelings can be at the top of the ramp, but this will not be enough to hold. The Mutalisk cannot engage into this head on. He needs to get these Baneling connects, but Taeja's spreading is so good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Like, semicircle of arcs.
Oh,
It actually might be enough.
Mutalisk gonna go down.
Yeah.
Revival's
So
losing a lot
close.
here. It's
The Lynx will clean this up, but uses the Mutalisk.
It's such a small amount of units, but it's such a dangerous amount of units thanks to these medevacs. Still picking up a micro with the Marauders. Just want to throw that out there. Taeja does not let up for even a second. Empire Happy is the only other player I see do this, but Taeja and Revival here is looking to perhaps come to an end with this push. I mean, it's a 4th base. It's not like he's killing the 3rd, but Revival just can't deal with this. Now there's Thors out in the field too. This gets worse and worse as time ticks on.
The Thor's not very helpful because the meter count has been diminished drastically.
But I mean, it'll soak the Widowmine, or sorry, the Baneling hits. It'll draw the attention of Lings, maybe. I don't know. Like you're right, it's not the most effective thing in this army, but it's a scary flag bearer, I guess.
Well, Taeja, I think, is definitely looking to win it here. He doesn't even, care about splitting. There's not enough Banelings. His Revival, okay, it was GG.
In it to win it.
Never mind.
All right, well, that will be the end of the first show match today, guys. Taeja moves on to the winner's bracket. He hasn't quite, or not winner's bracket, winner's match. He hasn't quite locked down any cash yet. What this means, though, is we're going to have Puzzle versus Dragon up next, so it's going to be a TVP for you all. And the winner of that will go on to fight against Taeja. So, God rest their souls and good luck to them. Because, like, even if you win this next match, you don't really win just yet, because, of course, you're going up against Taeja. The loser of the next series that we cast, Puzzle vs. Dragon, will go up against Revival in a best-of-3 afterwards. And like I said, guys, there's going to be a total of $1,000 dished out today. $500 for first place, $300 for second, and $200 for third. So with 4 people competing and 3 guaranteed money, you got to feel pretty good about those odds, no matter how good or bad of a player you are.
Yeah.
But, all right, we're going to, we'll come back for some small talk afterwards, guys. We're doing the vetoes right now. We're going to throw up some ads so we can be back ASAP. Dragon versus Puzzle will come back when we come back. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in a moment. Well, I guess a couple minutes. I got to change this to Dragon versus Puzzle.